can vote for Democrats.
No, they can't vote.
Right.
Those Social Security cards literally say
AOC,
on the card say you can't use this for voting.
What was the open border for? Why was the border open for 4 years? Answer me that question.
First of all, the border was not open.
Give me are you kidding me? Look at
Sam Seder versus Patrick Bet-David. The debate we've been waiting for finally happened on the Patrick Bet-David podcast, and it turned into a complete meltdown. Seder comes in with receipts, but Patrick, Vinny Oshana, and Adam Sosnick throw everything they can to spin it. Let's go through it clip by clip.
I watched the video of you guys on the plane down of when Elon Musk was in Wisconsin blowing up his whole brand, essentially. And he was on stage with a guy named Garcias. Do you guys remember this video?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was like 2 days ago.
Yes. The Social Security numbers spiking in the last 4 years.
The Social Security numbers.
2.2 million
yes.
new non-citizen Social Security numbers. Yes.
And the amount of misinformation from every single person, all of you, was astonishing to me.
what was it? What was the misinformation?
I mean, well, I almost feel like we should go through the whole video.
This is coming from a socialist.
No,
you know the level of credibility of a socialist.
Listen,
progressive system that has never worked. But I want to hear it.
That is anti-oligarch.
But I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Go for it.
First off,
yeah,
you seem to not understand that these were not undocumented immigrants who were getting these Social Security numbers. They are non-citizens. Now, when you came to this country, you were an immigrant. Your parents came legally.
Right.
Every single one of those people who got those Social Security numbers are here legally. They're not citizens, just like you weren't when you first came to this country.
Yeah.
You get a green card. Your parents get a green card. They go through a process.
Yeah.
All of those people, and to understand, they got their Social Security card.
I really want to see your point.
Well, the point is, you referred to them as undocumented and illegal. You did.
I said non-citizen.
No, excuse me.
Don't say everyone here. I said non-citizen. Correct yourself.
I can't remember which one of you got it wrong. I think you did.
Just be
specific. You're thinking, but
we can play the video and go through it. But
I'm still trying to get to the point.
I just want to make.
Point?
Well, the point is, they're not illegal.
Yeah.
They're not undocumented. They're all legal.
Right.
The expansion from that program, the EBE program, which is enumeration beyond entry, was started under the Trump administration. The numbers have gone up because, yes, under Biden, as opposed to Trump, there was an expansion of people who were here probably, I'm not sure.
A lot of illegals.
Excuse me.
10 plus million.
Not a single one of them.
Breaking number of people.
Hold on, you're changing the subject now.
No, I'm not changing the subject.
I'm talking about that video.
Yeah.
And every one of those Social Security numbers that was handed out.
So how do you feel about the illegal immigrants that came those 4 years?
I will get to illegal.
You don't care about those people.
I will get to the undocumented.
You cared about children.
But you don't want to talk about this, and I don't blame you because it's embarrassing.
No. But let me do a quick time out.
Every one of those Social Security numbers.
Do a quick time out here. Sam, let me just do a quick time out. You said you don't want to talk about this. You just spun away from a question I asked you, and you brought this up. You haven't even addressed the question I asked you.
Let me finish. We'll get to the
point that
illegal
let's go back to what I asked you. I asked you a question that the money that's going in, Americans prove that they don't trust the government getting the money than free market, free enterprise.
I don't think that's the case.
You never addressed that.
I don't think that's the case. People love Social Security. People love Medicare.
Expenditure. What we learned with Doge. The American people said, Sam, enough of you taking our tax money and see what you're doing with it.
Elon Musk made that Wisconsin election of a referendum on Doge. To the extent that we've seen anybody vote on Doge, nobody heard the word Doge before November of last year. To the extent that we've seen a referendum on Doge, it just happened in Wisconsin. It happened in Florida, where the size of the win by those Republican congressmen was cut by 17, 20 points. I mean, this is a wipeout. And every Republican, you're going to see a difference in Republican lawmakers over the next year and a half, because anybody who was in a plus Trump 8 district or less is now starting to go like, wait a second. That's why Musk is being shown the door, supposedly. So getting back to my point about those Social Security numbers, they were.
Let's pause here, because this is where the spin really starts. Patrick Bet-David and his co-hosts are trying to connect Social Security numbers to illegal immigration and voter fraud. But that's not how it works. Social Security numbers are issued to legal non-citizens, people on work visas, green cards, or refugee status, so they can pay taxes while they're in the US. And those cards clearly state that they cannot be used for voting. So when Elon Musk claims that millions of Social Security numbers are being handed out to help Democrats win elections, that's simply false. The reality is these numbers are about taxes, not ballots. But instead of addressing that, Patrick and Vinny immediately deflect to open borders and illegals. That's the pattern. Ignore the facts, change the subject, and keep the audience scared.
Were given all to legal non-citizens. And every one of those cards, you can't vote, because I think you definitely said, and I think maybe you said, that this is a Democratic strategy to get voters. Hold on for a second. The Social Security card that they get literally says not legitimate for voting purposes. It is so that these non-citizens who are legal, just like when you came in, pay into the Social Security system and get, many of them never get that money back. So in addition to the undocumented immigrants who pay in $22 billion a year into Social Security and get zero back, these people pay several $billion in a year, and only if they become citizens, which most of them won't. Most of them will go back home over a period of time. They're here for temporary protected status. Maybe some of them are refugees and they get permanent citizenship. They won't get that money either. So every single thing of that video, this video here, was completely wrong that you guys did. It was fascinating to me because I feel like you, at the very least, I believe that you care about the information you're putting out. And this was all wrong. And
so they're up there. So Sam, this is all a lie. These guys were up there just completely bullshitting with all the numbers. Where he's saying that people in the government are blowing the whistles. He didn't want to say their names. He was giving them praise. And for Sam, for you to say that you care about the kids and the labor and all that stuff. We've had an open border for 4 years, and all the illegals, way more than 10 million, have come into this country. California, is that where you live?
No.
Where do you live?
I live in New York.
Okay, great. Even better. California. So the amount of money that we spent on illegals with housing and all that shit, and Gavin Newsom passing a law that you don't even need an ID to vote. You're saying that we're coming up with where these people aren't coming in for the votes? That's the main goal of this whole thing. What was the open border for? Why was the border open for 4 years? Answer me that question.
First of all, the border was not open.
Give me are you kidding me? Look at the... What do you mean the border wasn't open? Hold on. Did you smoke before you came in here? That's ridiculous.
By the way, Vinny, here's the part, though.
You're full of it, bro.
Here's the part.
Get out of here.
Sam, here's the part when I hear this, okay?
Anybody can look at that video. The things you were saying yesterday was a complete sack of lies or just misinformation.
Be honest with me.
Immigration year over year over year. Type in illegal immigration year over year.
The fact that you're saying the border wasn't wide open. How many deaths have happened? How many fentanyl deaths have happened per year while your freaking president, Joe Biden, was in office? How many Americans died just from fentanyl, and you're saying the border wasn't wide open? We've had the most illegal entry in 4 years in the history of the country. This is why, let me finish. And this is why your party sucks. This is why your party is at 29% approval. 20%. Because you got 20. Thank you. Because all you guys do is talk shit and just go anti-Trump. You have no policies. You guys have no vision. You have no leaders. You're talking about oligarchs and you hate the oligarchs. Where do you think Bernie Sanders and AOC are going to get their money from? Their donors. Don't lie to yourself. For you to look and by the way, you're talking about yesterday we lied.
AOC and Bernie Sanders don't take
Hold on, ready for this?
And here's what makes this whole exchange so telling. Sam Seder is sitting there, calmly laying out how the Social Security system actually works, explaining step by step why Elon Musk's claim was wrong. And what do Patrick Bet-David, Vinny Oshana, and Adam Sosnick do? They don't engage with the facts at all. They talk over him, they shout, they change the subject to immigration, to fentanyl, to anything else they can think of because they don't have an answer to the actual point. This is the playbook on these shows. It's not about truth. It's not about evidence. It's about creating vibes. It's about stirring emotion, getting their audience angry, scared, and distracted instead of giving them real answers. That's why you see constant deflection. The moment Sam Seder says these are legal non-citizens who pay into the system but don't get benefits back, they panic and pivot. Because admitting that would mean admitting Musk lied, and their whole narrative falls apart. And honestly, that's the big takeaway here. These shows love to say facts don't care about your feelings, but the reality is the opposite. Sam brought facts. They brought feelings. He explained policy. They shouted slogans. He was steady. They got red-faced and emotional. That's the contrast. And let's not ignore why this matters. When people like Elon Musk spread misinformation about Social Security, when Patrick Bet-David and his co-hosts amplify it without question, it's not just a debate. It has consequences. It makes people doubt the system. It makes them think their benefits are at risk because of some imaginary voter scheme. And then, when cuts come, when checks are delayed, people are more willing to accept it because they've been conditioned to believe it's about stopping fraud. It's a scam, plain and simple. That's why Sam Seder showing up to challenge this is important. Because if nobody pushes back, the spin becomes truth for millions of viewers. And that's how misinformation spreads. So at the end of the day, this debate wasn't just about Social Security cards. It was about truth versus spin, facts versus feelings, accountability versus distraction. And the question is, which side do you believe? Let me know down below in the comments, do you think Sam Seder was right to push back with facts, or do you agree with Patrick Bet-David and his team? I want to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next one, because this is the kind of conversation we need to keep having.